in the Pro models, of course, delivering the speed of a MacBook laptop right in your pocket. Smarter AI translates languages in real time, auto adjusts selfies to zoom perfectly onto your face. If there are more people that are coming in, it will automatically zoom out, and then of course optimizes battery for longer life. It's not just a phone, it's a pocket powerhouse. Now, whilst the Apple fans are rejoicing, the Android king, Samsung S25 Ultra, has already been making waves since its launch back in January this year. We're focusing on the head-to-head with the iPhone 17 Pro Max for the ultimate premium flagship clash. And as far as display is concerned, the S25 Ultra has a matching 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X panel, which rivals Apple's Retina. Performance pits Apple's A19 Pro chipset against Samsung's Snapdragon 8 Elite. Both are beasts and behemoths, but Samsung's raw power promises seamless multitasking and gaming dominance. Cameras steal the show here. The iPhone 17 Pro Max rocks a triple 48-megapixel fusion camera system with an 18-megapixel selfie one. But Samsung ups the ante with 4 cameras, including a jaw-dropping 200-megapixel sensor and a 12-megapixel selfie, ideal for photography pros chasing the ultra detail. On the battery front, and this is in your interest again, Apple's Pro Max edges out with up to 39 hours of video playback versus Samsung's solid 31 hours, though real-world tests will give us a clear picture in the days to come. Artificial intelligence is where the magic happens. Apple's intelligence suite versus Samsung's Galaxy AI, both offering real-time translations. We're talking about smart photography edits and predictive features, but pricing gives Samsung an upper hand. Rupees 1,49,999 for the 512GB S25 Ultra, undercutting Apple's 1,69,900 rupee for the equivalent Pro Max storage. And this clash, it isn't just about hardware, it's about lifestyles. Apple locks you into a polished, privacy-focused ecosystem with that AI finesse. Samsung offers unbridled versatility, superior zoom, expandable options, and that beastly sensor for photography fanatics. The big question that we're trying to ask on the show tonight, and an informed and expert panel with us, is Apple's refined artificial intelligence integration and the sleek design worth the premium price tag over Samsung's camera power and versatile tools? And why does the premium phone market tilt in favor of Apple than Samsung? With me here on the broadcast, Rohan Rajput, actor and influencer; Kanish Gaur, digital technology expert. Very warm welcome to the both of you. Saurabh Rai, CEO, Arahas Technologies. Very warm welcome to you, sir. Was listening to some of your comments earlier in the day as well. Shruti Sharma, editor technology with the TV9 network. Hi, Shruti. Siddharth Shankar, associate editor, Tech Auto Science, with us here on news9live.com. Siddharth, let me get the ball rolling with you as well. I saw you keenly focused in watching the keynote address yesterday. Some swanky looking graphics that they put out there. You just can't help but look at the presentation. Tim Cook's camera going into somewhere else, and that camera then thrown onto somewhere else. But talking about the phones, the AirPods making the watches obsolete, but the new Air, the thin model that's come in, what are the salient features? What are the key takeaways that you took from that keynote that the people are now talking about, and maybe the headlines are going to change in given a week's time?
Hi, Kabir. Thanks for having me on the show. Firstly, as you mentioned, the production quality of Apple events are totally on a next level. Google, Samsung cannot match it. Nobody else can match it. Now, coming to iPhones, I feel this time the launch was actually a game changer, not just because of the iPhone Air, also because of, I feel this time Apple has, changed into 2 parts of their phone. One is iPhone Air, which it was not named iPhone 17 Air, it was just iPhone Air. And then the Pro models, iPhone 17 Pro, and it's something I feel like what they did with MacBooks. And the next game changer is the base model iPhone. Now, the base model iPhone always had some, like in 16, iPhone 16 had the iPhone 15 processor, right? Now, this time, there are 4 features which are common in all iPhones. If you buy the base model or the Pro Max, which is 1,80,000 and 2 lakh, above 2 lakhs. So there are 4 features which I'll mention right now. First is the base storage has been increased from 128 GB to 256 GB, right?
Yep.
And the second big feature, which I feel, is the LTPO display, which they call ProMotion, from 1 hertz to 120 hertz. So that will improve the battery life, that will improve gaming performance, that will improve general whenever you scroll and do things. And the second part is 48 megapixel camera, which is universal throughout, and fast charging, right? So all these features you can get in the base model iPhone, and then if you want to spend more, if you like this thinner iPhone, if you like the Pro models, then you can
Right.
move on to them.
Absolutely. You pointed out the 120 hertz. That's a pro model feature that for the first time comes in a non-pro phone. And whilst we're talking about the iPhone Air, you rightly pointed out it's not called iPhone 17 Air, it's iPhone Air. Do we see this being just the tip of the iceberg? Could this be a precursor to many more silicon developments coming through from Apple, Siddharth?
Yes, yes, this is what I feel. Maybe the next in 2026 we'll see iPhone Air 2, which start 18 Pro or 18 Pro Max going in future. So it will differentiate between a Air model, which is lighter, more stylish, more feels more luxurious with titanium and everything, while the Pro models are more for people who actually want the ProRes video or they want
Right.
that 2 terabyte storage, content creators and more.
Well, you can certainly count on Siddharth and Shruti. About within a week's time, they're going to get their hands on these devices and give you a complete breakup of exactly what needs to be done here. Before I let you go, Siddharth, I know you're a busy man. You're writing all of those blogs, and of course, you can catch all of that on news9live.com as well. Siddharth, are you excited about any of these, lineups? Is there something that you're looking at in terms of changing your own phone?
Currently, I'm using 16 Pro Max, so I might be looking at the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max, but my heart is at the iPhone Air. It looks really luxurious.
Yeah, I mean, all these three colors, and the community certainly divided on that orange color that has come about. Looks cool. I think you can pair it up with a swanky looking cover, and that'll do, it a solid good. Many thanks, Siddharth, for joining us here on the broadcast and helping us out with the latest details with the iPhone Air specifically. Shruti, let me come to you next. All our panelists, many thanks for patiently waiting. Let's bring in the technology editor here and really understand when we're talking about this flagship battle, Shruti, the iPhone 17 Pro Max versus the S25 Ultra. Let's hear it from you. Who really wins the flagship battle this year? Because right in the morning, I was looking at a tweet by Samsung, which was hitting out at Apple, retweeting its own 2022 tweet saying, I can't believe that this tweet is still relevant in 2025. And the tweet goes on to say, but can you fold? Well, it seems like Apple is not busy or interested in folding business. And clearly the premium market tilts a certain way. But when it's a complete comparison, a head-to-head, who do you think has better weightage?
Well, that's going to be a little difficult question for me to answer, Kabir, to be precise. But yes, there are a set of people who are, Apple fan, and there are a set of people who are Samsung fan, and for that matter, iPhone and Android. But yes, Apple, now that they've launched these devices, of course, the features are a notch above than what it was in the predecessor. There are features that are actually improved now. If we compare it with the iPhone 16 series, no doubt about it. But yes, when you compare it with the Android, there are some features that have been there in the Android base phones since about 10 years, but iPhone is introducing it right now. But whenever iPhone comes up with something new, that's new in the iPhone, people have this wow factor because iPhone is an iPhone. Believe you me, the kind of market that iPhone is actually gaining in India is also commendable, because if you see the profits as per the report, the last year's financial profits was about $8 billion, and it's come to $9 billion in this fiscal year. And with the new stores that have been opening in India, which just recently opened last week, one in Pune and one in Bangalore, this is evident enough that the Apple is actually taking the share in the Indian market in terms of smartphones. And also in the coming year, in the early next year, if I may say so, Apple also plans to open another store in Mumbai. One's already there, the second one, and also in Delhi NCR, to be precise, in Noida. So with these kind of figures and the information that I have, this is evident enough that yes, people are changing their focus from the premium Android phones to the Apple. One could be the kind of features that they have, because they are impressive, no doubt. Secondly, there is a fan base in India and globally that are crazy about Apple phone. And thirdly, yes, Apple is a status symbol for people. So having an iPhone just makes them feel good and talked about in terms of people around. So yes, there can't be a head-on comparison. There are features that are very elite and very premium to the premium smartphones in Android, and there are features that are in iPhone and actually cannot be in any other smartphone for that matter.
All right. We'll understand and decode the market paradigm shift and the economics behind it the next time we pass the buck. But Shruti, many thanks for helping us out on that particular front. Do stay on with us. Kanish God, digital technology expert, also with us on the broadcast. Kanish, Samsung, and this is what the industry experts are saying, that the Samsung packs a 200 megapixel camera. It still has that stylus. But for now, with that titanium body of the S25 Ultra, the stylus comes along. And then you've got the anti-reflective display, which this time Apple is boasting about, but we got it last year when you're talking about the Samsung lineup. Whilst Apple bets on its AI, its privacy, the cinematic video, and of course, the new battery efficiency and the new brain with the A19 Pro chip. Which side is truly delivering value? And we're talking about the premium buyer out there, because only people who can right now afford a Pro Max and an S25 Ultra. Let's focus on that market. Which side is truly delivering value to this particular buyer?
See, it's very difficult to say that who's truly delivering, because you have loyalists. Someone who's loyal to Apple, right, would always move up in the value chain. If he's spending 1 lakh rupees buying an iPhone, he will be ready to spend 1.25 lakhs. And the same is the case with looking at your Samsung. Someone who's spending so much on the Galaxy S25 series will upgrade. So today it's more about loyalty, and that's what the premium users get return on investment because they have been so loyal. It takes time for people to switch from a loyal iPhone user to a loyal Samsung user. So someone who's been with the brand for a long time would always look to sticking to the brand. Nevertheless, if you look at some of the new features which is on the Apple's iPhone, making it the slimmest handset ever, I think this is one of the key things which keeps it much ahead with that titanium frame and ceramic shield glass. The blended elegance with toughness is unique. If you look at the performance and price, you would see that with the Apple's top tier A19 Pro chip, which is AI optimized, plus a dual custom communication chip, yet lower price than $100 than Samsung S25 Edge. It positions itself as a more attractive phone. The potential shortcoming for an iPhone could be just one camera, typically more from a typical multi-lens perspective. However, there are concerns with respect to battery endurance, despite the claim which Apple has made.
I was exactly going to come to that. The phone looks so thin, Kanish. I just don't buy it that it has that kind of battery. It looks so thin. The smallest power bank that I have at my home, which doesn't work that well, is a little fatter than that.
Absolutely. So making that claim versus it landing on ground. True. Plus, you need to understand battery usage really depends on how you're using the camera, how good the weather is. If it turns really cold, the batteries die out really fast. And that's what we have seen with iPhones. However, the Samsung S25 Galaxy series boasts itself with the AI Pro visual engine, which has a massive 200 MP camera, which is long-lasting battery up to 31 hours, with AI multitasking with Now Brief and one UI 7 and a built-in multi-S Pen that is all wrapped in a titanium frame. So it is also highly rated by consumer reports and experts like ZTNet. So there is obviously an edge which iPhone carries, but there is much to see when these phones are launched in the market, and the feedback which comes from consumers and experts, which phone is basically playing out much better. But I can tell you that the iPhone wins the war when it comes to pricing. The battery is the key thing. How the battery actually plays out versus what is claimed. That's one of the key things. And what we have seen is that it is again a competition between design versus features. With the iPhone Air, you have Apple bets on the radical thinness and material elegance. But with the features and functionality with Samsung, someone who uses Samsung knows how to use those features exceptionally well, there is the ability to multitask. So ultimately, which phone is better depends on what your priorities are. The play
Right.
for minimalistic design and the iPhone fineness.
It's still early
goes
doors.
for
I
Apple.
agree with you. It's still early doors. You can, of course, log on to Gadgets 9. Shruti is going to be doing one of those, battery life tests for both of these phones. If I'm not wrong, Shruti, you can hold me accountable for that particular front. Rohan Rajput, actor and influencer, also with us on the broadcast. Rohan, very warm welcome to you. Actors, influencers, the bunch like to change their phones, in a swift movement. If there's something new that's trending on the market, then, you've got to have it. Which particular line or variant or model you've set your eyes on? Talk to us about the status symbol that comes with the Apple versus the Samsung, but of course the efficacy and the efficiency versus what really is given to you in terms of value versus money. So how did you like the keynote address that took place yesterday? Your eyes set on a particular variant?
My eyes are completely set on iPhone 17 Pro Max, and like how he very clearly said that, it depends upon what your purpose is. Right now, being an actor and content creator, my purpose is to make good videos. And with the new model of iPhone Air, if you see it, it's very slim, it's very light, and most importantly, the camera is a central stage camera. I think before that, it's been for the first time कि ऐसा camera आया है, which is really amazing. And honestly speaking, there are two kinds of things. Okay, I'll be really बहुत जल्दी I'll speak this thing. One is a hype, which is true. Another is a hype, which is a false hype. When it comes to iPhone, it's 100% true hype. The hype the iPhone launch gets is 100% real. It's 100% worth it because nobody can compare an iPhone with any version of Android. And now, like being a content creator, whenever I'm in the market or outdoor or whatever I'm shooting, if I have a iPhone, I know my video quality would be better. It would be good. Like even the sound quality would be good. It has noise cancellation quality. Even the selfie mode has also increased. So I am pretty excited for it, and I totally agree that iPhone deserves the hype it gets. And I'm pretty excited to use the new one.
The Pro Max, that's what you're looking at.
Absolutely,
And the hype
absolutely.
seems to be real. Saurabh Rai, CEO, Arahas Technologies, also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Rai, I remember the iPhone 7, when it was a thin design, it started bending. People had problems with that. Then with another iOS upgrade, I remember it started heating up really badly. Now there's a clear-cut departure. You got the S25, which is in a titanium body. But iPhone 17 and the Pro Max have taken a departure from that titanium, coming back to aluminium. They want it to be cooler. The A19 Pro chip, there's a little backpad with silicon and laser that directs the heat in different ways. All of this looks really cool, at least on the videos. And we'll still have to wait and find out whether all of this actually works or not. Are you worried that we're getting too happy too soon? All of this is too good to be true, and in the coming weeks, we'll really understand what are the actual problems with this new lineup.
Let me start by giving you a secret. I can't be more specific, but in few years back, we were testing for upcoming iPhone models for my employer. And I can tell you, as the earlier panelist mentioned, their hype is for real. They actually propose only what they can deliver, and I've seen it as a fact. So towards that end, I can tell you what they have proposed, the barring minor glitches here and there, the phone will deliver to a high degree. Coming to the design philosophy per se, they have gone back. They have gone back in time. They have done first principles once again. They have tried to improve the size of battery. They have tried to improve the cooling mechanism. They have certainly improved the chips. They have certainly improved the AI, and they have played a catch up there on Samsung. No, still, whatever said and done, there is a snob appeal with Apple. And as you rightly mentioned, to what price segment it is targeted on. So more often than not, you would see my peers touting an Apple, the latest version of an Apple. But now there will be a major debate in our minds, including mine. Do I upgrade to a Pro Max, or do I go for an Air which is thinner, sleeker, suits my style, something like that? And can it last the day for my busy schedule? So that's a debate, and that's a very positive debate for Apple to have right now in this market condition. At least there are two choices that a premium buyer will have in the market.
You're absolutely right.
All this.
And I remember back in the day when the iPad Air and the Mac Air had come out, people hated on the Mac Air, and take a look at what Mac Air's latest model is doing to the Pro sellout. Now, people are going for the the Apple Mac Air and not so much for the Pro models. Shruti, let me come to you again. Let's talk about the direct comparison. When we talk about the battery life, when we talk about cameras, when we talk about the software, there's three things between the Pro Max and the S25 Ultra. Who's really tipping which model on what particular front? Because it seems like battery is the same. The software comparison can be done because Galaxy AI versus what Apple's AI can do in Indian and for the Indian market is something that we need to look at. But as a basic flagship head-to-head on battery, camera and software, who takes the lot?
Well, iPhone, of course, has its own set of features that they're talking about, and also the Samsung series, that is the S series that I have, the S25 Ultra for that matter. So they are basically heads-on with each other because both are the premium category smartphones. But, the main thing that I wanted to add here is that the game changer here could be the iPhone Air. This is what everybody's been waiting for because, iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, the Pro Max, everybody now more or less knows about it, that it's of course a notch above in terms of features, but there are two ways to look at it. So if you talk about iPhone Air, which is what Apple is banking on, is that Apple has been known for doing innovation. So this is another innovation that they're experimenting for that matter. They had launched iPhone Mini, wasn't very overwhelming. Secondly, they launched, the iPhone Plus series, which again wasn't overwhelming. But the other way that we could look at is that iPhone Air could be the vision phone. You never know, in the coming years and future, we would see that the iPhone 18 series getting that thinner and that lighter. And of course, when we talk about heads-on with the Samsung, each smartphone of Samsung does have its own, sets of features that is heads-on with the iPhone, but there's something missing there in the iPhone that Samsung has, and there's something that Samsung misses that iPhone doesn't have. So yes, we basically can't have a heads-on with all the models there. But yes, like I told you, even if I say Samsung is better than iPhone, there are iPhone fans that would not agree with me, and there are Samsung phones will not agree with me that the iPhone is better than Samsung.
No, you're right. There are going to be loyalists everywhere, and I do understand when you do a pedagogical study between the two phones, maybe there's more to talk about, but single-handedly, I think Apple has taken over all the headlines across the market. Kanishk, I'm completely run out of time here. My last final 20 seconds to you. When we talk about Galaxy AI versus the artificial intelligence and the live translation that comes across with the new AirPods and, of course, Apple's own AI intelligence, do we really get the dividends as the Indian market? In the US, it's a completely different story. In the Indian market, I think Galaxy AI is doing a little bit better.
See, we need to check that, there are Apple loyalists who basically vouch on Apple for its better performance, particularly with AI coming out in a big way. The other key considerations for Apple is, again, privacy and data protection. There have always been concerns on Android with respect to how your data is stored, transmitted with third parties. And if you log into a Samsung, it's going to be an Android phone, and all the data always goes to the third parties for ads. So you don't see less ads. You decide your data can't be stolen. And the security
and with artificial intelligence, trust is a major factor. So when all of your data is going up there onto the cloud, vis-a-vis the privacy that is sold by Apple, I think there are more takers for trust and privacy. That's a great point that you've mentioned over there. I've completely run out of time here. Sorry for stifling your voices here. Many thanks, Rohan. Many thanks, Mr. Rai. Shruti, always a pleasure to speak to you. And Kanishk, many thanks for joining us here on News9. That's all the time we have for you. That wraps up our deep dive into the battle of flagships. Still early doors. Some more experiments that do need to be carried out. You log on to Gadgets9 and News9Live.com for all the latest details. That's all the time we have for you. In your interest, we're going to continue to talk about topics that matter to you. More coming right on the other side. Many thanks for watching. एसोसिएट स्पॉन्सर एंकर टूथपेस्ट, नए जमाने की नई सुरक्षा।